For this activity, we are going to investigate mass, volume, and density of a solid, a liquid, and a gas. So what I have set up here is I have my little electronic balance, which I'm going to use for mass. I have a graduated cylinder, which I'm going to use for water. I have my wood block. I have my balloon. And I have a measuring tape, which is what I'm going to use to find the volume of the wood block. If you remember from the measurement unit last year, if it's a nice evenly sided object, we can do length times width times height. I'm not going to drop it in water because it doesn't fit in this graduated cylinder. And also this wood block probably floats. So the first thing we're going to find out is mass. So for the wood block, it's pretty easy. I'm going to place it on the scale. And the mass of the wood block is 33.8 grams. So you'll write that on your table. Remember also you're identifying which is the solid, which is the liquid, and which is the gas. So 33.8 for the wood block. For the water, what I am going to do is I'm going to take my coffee mug and fill it up with some water. And I am going to put my graduated cylinder on the scale. And I'm going to zero the scale. And then I'm going to pour some water into the cylinder. Okay, and you're actually going to record volume and mass right now for the water. So the mass of the water is 68 grams, and the volume of the water is 68 milliliters. So the mass of the water is 68 grams, volume of the water is 68 milliliters. For the volume of the wood block, I'm going to take my measuring tape, and I'm going to measure the length of one side. And it looks like the length of one side is 3.2 centimeters. So what you'll do to find the volume of the wood block is you'll get a calculator and do 3.2 times 3.2 times 3.2, and that will give you the volume of the wood block. And then for both the wood block and the water, all you have to do is mass divided by volume to get density. Okay, so for my balloon, it's going to be a little bit harder to find the mass of it because I can't just blow on the scale. That's not going to work. So what I'm going to do, or sorry, for the volume of the air. So what I'm going to do is use a balloon to trap the air inside. So I zeroed my scale. And right now the mass of the empty balloon is 2.72. So try to remember that. Okay, then I'm going to blow it up. That's probably big enough. And then I'm going to tie it. And then since the balloon will roll around, I'm actually going to put a roll of tape on the scale and set it to 0. And I'm going to set my balloon on the tape so it stays put. And now the mass is 2.84. So to find the mass of the air, you'll do 2.84 minus 2.72, and that will give you the mass of the air inside of the balloon. If you notice in the table, the volume and density for the air are blacked out, so you're not going to calculate that. And for the rest of the questions on the activity, you're going to think about why we're not calculating volume and density for the balloon or for the air in the balloon. So based on what you did in the table and what I did in this video, you will answer the rest of the questions on the activity sheet.